I hear somebody coming back to me out there. This is 9 Alpha Tango 791. Give me your QT8 so I can turn my antenna around.
791, Joe. It's 820 Florida.
820. Okay, pick a channel. How about 535?
US Florida 51, Joe. 510.
Okay. How about it 820 Florida?
Hey, Joe, I was listening to my station the other night. I think you posted it the next day. It sounded pretty good on the ground plane. I was pretty happy with the results. How you doing, Joe?
Yeah, you're coming in 20 over 9, man. You're sounding Q5 right now. You're, I don't know if you're on the ground plane right now. Again, it's blasting in here.
Yeah, I have you strong to you, 10 dB over. What kind of a beam did you put up, Joe? I know you used to have like an Antron or an IMAX. What kind of a directional did you put up?
Yeah, a couple years ago, I put up a 3-element flat side Serio Yagi, and I still have the Antron, the IMAX, and the 5/8 Sigma Venom. I got like 4 different antennas up, but yeah, right now I'm talking to you on the flat side Yagi.
That sounds real good. It's really, really good. 5.9 plus 10 dB. And I think I have 6 dB of attenuation, so you'd even be stronger if I took the attenuator off.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad I'm making the trip in there to Tampa. And yeah, you're sounding like a local up here. I hope you're having a good day down there. Not a bad day. A little cooler up here today. Only about 40 degrees right now, 40 degrees. And it got down to about like 34. So it was a cool, clear night.
Yeah, we were down in the 30s last night. We're supposed to go down to 32 tonight. We're supposed to winter alerts in Central Florida. We're supposed to either get a little snow or icy rain.
Crazy weather, eh? Crazy weather. I know, it's pretty insane, isn't it?
Yeah, there goes the theory on global warming, right?
Exactly. Throw that out the door. Yeah, and yeah, no, I was going to say our winters here are often, you know, we do have snowless winters on this island. It's usually pretty wet here. We've had a pretty wet winter, so we got a nice stretch of sunshine, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's a little cooler at night when we get the sunshine with the clear nights, but that's okay. I'll take the sunshine.
Yeah, it was overcast, a little sunny today. It rained all day yesterday, and it's supposed to start raining like 2 in the morning. And we're either going to get a light dusting of snow, or it's going to be snow mixed with frozen rain. Over.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't amount to too much. And I know where you are, that's pretty short-lived. It's not going to stick around for a long time. It'll be gone probably as quick as it lands. It'll be melted away.
Last time we had snow was January 10th, 2010. And the kids, they just had like maybe a half an inch of snow. They had enough snow to make a snowman and maybe play some snowball fight. But it came down like 6, 7 in the morning. It was gone by noon.
That's exactly the way I like it to snow. Gone by noon or even sooner. I don't like snow. It's a 4-letter word. Rain is a 4-letter word, but snow is a worse 4-letter word, if you know what I mean.
We've had snow down here a few times. I wasn't here, but back in like those cold winters in the 70s, they had 3 inches of snow here in Tampa. 77. And then 83, there was some cold winters. We had some snow here, and it killed a lot of the citrus groves north of Highway 60. And in 89, there was some snow, bicycle. And in 98, a little dusting, and then 10. It seems like every 10, 12, 15, every 10, 12, 15 years, we'll get a little dusting, Joe.
Yeah, it does happen, yeah, and it definitely has. Same with Tallahassee, too. You go a little bit farther north to Tallahassee, it can actually get downright cold there during one of those Arctic outbreaks. I guess they call it the polar vortex. They got these fancy, smancy names for it now. But anyway, I know Tallahassee can actually get pretty cold at times there, QSL.
Yeah, but for somebody like you, you'd laugh at it, you know what I mean? They do get a little chilly up there. You know what city has the most radical changes in temperature from hot to cold in Florida?
No, what would it be?
Ocala. Ocala gets super hot in the summer and super cold in the winter. Sometimes it's even colder than Tallahassee. It's just the way it is. It sits in a little valley, and when the Arctic, cold fronts come through, it blasts right through. So Ocala is the city that's got the most variation in temperature. Super hot in the summer and super cold, even colder in Tallahassee in the winter.
That is really interesting because I've always been a weather nut, and I've been a weather observer here for years, you know, keeping records and stuff. And I stopped doing that a few years ago when I retired. But yeah, no, I look at the all-time low temperature in Tallahassee, and it was a long time ago. It was like February 1899. They dropped down to -2 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. And you know, the funny thing is the coldest temperature recorded on this island here is 5 above Fahrenheit, QSL.
The coldest I've ever seen in this area, and I'm just north of Tampa, the suburbs, I've seen 17 Fahrenheit back in the late 80s.
That would actually do some damage to the flora too, like the palm trees, and probably certainly the some of the citrus, the less cold tolerant citrus. It would definitely split the bark on them.
It killed them off. In 82, 83, 86, we had some really bad winters where it was 17 degrees, 20 degrees, and all the citrus, like Citrus County used to have a lot of citrus, there's none. Orange County, that's Orlando, there's none. They had to move it down south of 60, down towards Lake Okeechobee. The rest of the groves got destroyed.
Interesting. Yeah, I know Lake Okeechobee. I talked to a guy there. I usually talk to him on AM, though, if I'm on AM. But yeah, that is very interesting. And yet they say the place is warming up, but yet it's getting colder, so you got to move the citrus more south. But yeah, that is pretty cold for that far south. And I know I've talked to a few places around the States. I talked to a guy in South Carolina the other day, and he says he had a bit of snow on the ground. So it's just kind of a weird winter, I guess. Maybe it's La Nina.
I think they call this El Nino. I don't know, La Nina, you're right. Who do you talk to down there? Game warden?
No, deer hunter.
Yeah, deer hunter. I know who he is. He's got a quad. He gets out well. I don't know him personally, but I know a lot of the guys here that talk AM that talk to him quite frequently.
Yeah, he blasts in here. Like, he's kind of like that. I don't know, there's a guy on AM they call Motormouth Mall. He's got a powerful station like that. Whenever I hear him, he's coming in like 20, 30 on the AM there over everything. So I don't know. Maybe he's running some mega power too.
I don't know what he's running, but I know he's got a 6-element quad. Do you know a guy who goes by Mustang and he's just north of him? You know Mustang in Lake Wales?
That sounds familiar. I might have talked to him too.
He's got a 6-element too, but I don't think he runs that much wattage. He's real good with friends with the deer hunters. He's got the same kind of antenna, 6-element quad. I think it's called Lightning, the White Lightning quad. But I know he's not running that much. I think deer hunter might be running some heavy-duty stuff.
That's it, and that's Deer Slayer. Now I remember. Yeah, I said Deer Hunter. I'm thinking of the movie. I think his name is Candle's Deer Slayer. And yeah, he just blasts in here, and it's definitely working for him. Maybe he's got some. Maybe the being by the big lake helps too.
Yeah, it really does. You know, I've heard them and stuff. They were pretty far apart. It would take me to drive from where I live on highways close to 4 hours to get down by that Deer Slayer. That's how far away he is. Doing say 70 miles an hour. It'd take me 4 hours to get there.
Holy moly! So he's quite a ways away, and you said south. He's south of you, huh?
Yeah, and he gets out good. I can hear him up here. I don't know how many miles it is exactly, but let's just say I would say he's close to 200 miles easy.
Yeah, so that would be a really good contact, because that'd be like really close. It's Skip. Is like yesterday, I was calling for Southeast Asia, and a guy comes back to me. I could hear him out there in the distance, and it was a guy in Victoria, British Columbia. So I'm on the northern end of Salt Spring Island here, not super far away from Victoria, but I can never talk there because of mountains. It's topography. And this guy actually could hear me, so I had a little QSO with him, and it's very rare. It's actually easier for me to talk to you than it is to talk to Victoria, which is maybe 40 miles away, 50 miles.
Have you ever spoken with Alex 120? I know he helped you get into the club, but is he too far from you?
Actually, I talked to him the other day. I shot a video gate. He's over in he's in Vancouver or Burnaby, like on the outskirts there. He lives in a condo. Yeah, I talked to him the other day. He usually comes in pretty good too. I think he might be running a little horsepower.
He's a real nice guy. I know him from when he was in southern Italy. I think he was there about 20 years. He's a really good guy. I know him about 25, 26 years. He used to make those Skyper antennas. When he was in Italy, he sold a lot of those antennas. They work real good.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing because he does boom, and sometimes he moves around. He'll be over down in the San Juan Islands in Washington, which is the same island archipelago as our Gulf Islands, and he was just booming in here, man. It's like, I rarely talk to the San Juans, but when he came in that day, he was like 20 over.
What was he, affordable?
Yeah, he was staying at a cabin or something at a friend's place, so he set up an antenna system.
Probably one of his Skypers. He had the 3-element wire beams. They sort of look like a hex beam. His got out great. And he used to make them and sell them when he was over in Italy.
That'd be so cool, man. I'd love to go to Italy. You know, my dad's side of the family's from Ardori and Reggio Calabria. I've never been. I still have actually family there. It's on my wife's list of things to do, and mine is get to Italy.
I didn't know you were a part Italian, Joe. Yeah, my family's from Sicily.
Oh, cool. Okay, Sicilia. And yours are Calabria, Calabrese. I say on the toe of the boot. On the toe of the boot looking at Sicily.
Here's the deal. If your family's like from Reggio or Southern Calabria, it's easy for us that you can talk to each other. The guys from Southern Calabria speak almost like Sicilian. I have some friends that wintered down here from Ottawa, and they were born in Reggio. And we don't even have to speak Italian. We can speak a dialect, and we understand each other perfect. Now, Northern Calabria speaks more like they do in Naples, but Southern Calabria speaks more like Sicilian.
That's super cool. Yeah, there's Southern Calabria and a little town of Ardori, like Alpha Romeo, Delta, Oscar Romeo, Echo, Ardori. And when my nono grew up, he grew up on a big olive farm, 160-acre olive farm. Clementi is my last name, and they actually sell that Clementi olive oil at the. We have a little hole-in-the-wall Italian pasta place here. He actually moved here from Italy, from southern Italy, and they have that Clementi olive oil in there.
Did your family go from Italy to Toronto or straight out to the West Coast?
Nova Scotia, I think it was, and then across Canada. And he left his gal behind, and he came out to work to get a job working heavy construction, like on bridges and stuff, my nono.
Yeah, my nonna came over, probably a little older than you. My nonna came over like right before the First World War, and they had a farm. They said your family, and they do wine and olive oil. And they had a drum, and he, his next to oldest brother, and his uncle came over, and they worked. And my nonna, he met my grandmother, and she was like from the next province down, and they got married. She didn't want to go back. So, but he worked all over the West. He was in Mississippi as a lumberjack in Louisiana. Then he went out to West Texas and New Mexico. He was laying railroad track. He busted his butt. And then at the time they were chasing Pancho Villa, the army would come and take him with them to interpret, because he could speak like I think he spoke Italian, French, Spanish, German, and English, 5 languages. And the army didn't have any like Hispanics, so they would borrow him to translate. And they told him, "You want to join the army?" He said, "Well, I'm not a citizen." And the guy said, the sergeant said, "Did we ask if you're a citizen?" He said, "No, he worked for the army for 10 years." And he'd always tease my father. They'd say, I got my citizenship from an act of Congress. I wasn't born here. I guess they used to have a 10-year and out, and you get a pension. I think he got 25%, and he got a pension from the Army, and he got his citizenship when he got his honorable discharge.
That is super cool, man. Yeah, wow. Amazing history there, eh? And Italians are very hard workers, and a lot of them are laborers. And yeah, my nono came probably, I know he got married in Italy in 1921. He was born in 1894, and he died in 1974. He was 80 years old. He died in 1974. And my nona, she died in 1967 when I was 3. but they got married in 1921, and then they immigrated over. They came to Vancouver, right? And my dad was in her tummy, so conceived in Italy, but born in Vancouver in 1934. And my dad's gone now. He passed away in May 2016. But you know, my aunt, his oldest sister, she just passed away. My Auntie Mary passed away not last October, but the October before, 2023. She was 101 years old, lived by herself in a house in South Vancouver, still gardened. She had an amazing garden. And her husband, my uncle, died at 97 a few years before, but she made it to 101. She just went to sleep and didn't wake up.
And she made 101, which is phenomenal. Joe, really, 101 is phenomenal. Yeah, my grandfather was born in 1890, so 4 years older than your grandfather. It's the same type of thing. I think he got married in 1920. And he was going to go back to Italy, and he met my grandmother. He was in New York. They didn't have airplanes. He was waiting for the ship to go back. And we met my grandmother. My grandmother's older brother had a grocery store. He used to go buy food and stuff. And he met my grandmother, and he just fell in love. He never went back. I mean, he went back to visit, but he wasn't planning on staying here. He was planning on going back. And then they were going to go back like in June of 42 when my uncle graduated 8th grade in New York City. They used to graduate 8th grade. And then you went to high school, but the war you could never go back.
That's amazing, the history. Yeah, I still have lots of old family photos. I even have photos of Nono and Nona, their wedding. I have them married. So it was two brothers that married two sisters. So my Nono married my Nona, and his brother married her sister.
I've seen that happen a lot in those times. I know family members that did the same thing over.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, no, it's on my list. I have to get to southern Italy. I mean, I'd love to see all of Italy. And you know, I talked there a fair bit on the when the DX is rolling in from Europe, but it's not like going there. I would really love to visit. I'd love to see Sicily. I'd even like to see Sardinia.
I've been to Sardinia. I've been to Sicily. I've been pretty much all over Italy through the years. I love all of it, but I really like, in Mezzogiorno, I love from Rome south, because I feel like I'm at home, but I love all of Italy. I like Venice, I like Milano. I have a lot of cousins in Milano. My grandfather's brothers went there for work. So, I mean, I like all of Italy. I love it. And you should try to go over in September when they have the world meetings. I think this year it's in Pisa. Last year it was in Maluzzo in Sicily. But I'm going to try to go if I possibly can.
That would be awesome. You know, the history there is unbelievable. And that's what I really like. And the food, man, you can't beat authentic Italian food from southern Italy. It is the best.
Yeah, is your mom Italian, or she's not Italian origins?
No, she wasn't Italian. No, she was actually Ukrainian, and she's gone now. But she wasn't born here, and her mom wasn't born here. It was I think it was maybe her grandmother was born here. So goes back a long way. She was born in Canada. But yeah, so dad's side of the family is all Italian.
Yeah, my mom was Sicilian too. My dad's Sicilian. My dad's parents came over when my dad's father came over, I think he was 21. And my mom's parents came over when they were young, like 6 and 7, to New York. So they were, they could speak Sicilian, they could speak English. You wouldn't know they weren't born here. They spoke with a New York accent, but they didn't speak Sicilian really well. My dad spoke real Italian. His dad went to the University of Palermo, so he was college educated. And my grandmother went to, only went to like 3rd grade, 4th grade. So they never spoke dialect in the house. They spoke real Italian. They thought they were going to go back, and they didn't want my dad and my uncle to struggle. I think it's school to toughen up. They spoke real Italian. My dad said he hated it, but he used to go to Italian lessons like, I don't know, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Oh my God, the history there. I love listening to it. It is absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, well, like I say, it's on my list there. And it's going to happen hopefully sooner than later. I like the Prime Minister of Italy too. She's a smart gal. I like the way she thinks. And yeah, I think Rome South would be nice. A lot of, like I say, there's so much history there. It's not even funny in Sicily. Oh my God, I watch it on YouTube. I often watch YouTube videos of it. And you know, when they cook their food, they go to the market and they always buy nice fresh ingredients.
Yeah, they shop like every day there. They don't have big refrigerators, Joe.
That's what I love, man. That's absolute. That's the blue zone. That's the blue zone, and that's why they live so long in southern Italy. Anyway, Larry, hey, you know what? It's changing. Propagation shifting here. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate the interesting QSO, and we'll be listening for you on the band maybe around this time when Florida's coming in. So with that, you have a great evening, Larry, and hopefully it doesn't get too cold down that way. 2 Alpha Tango 820, Tampa, Florida. 9 Alpha Tango 791 on the Gulf Islands out here in the North Pacific. We're waving, Paisan. Ciao for now. And disappeared just like that. Good guy. Florida, man, that's awesome. I like talking to him. Very interesting.